Jessie Oonark, Inuit Artist by Gail Riley. When you make a piece of art, what inspires you? Do you draw from experiences you have had, places you have been, or people you know? Artist Jessie Oonark got her inspiration from her culture. Jessie was born an Inuit. The Inuit are a civilization who have lived in Canada since before European explorers arrived. Although many influences can be seen in Jessie's work, she's often remembered as an artist who captured the spirit of the Inuit people. An old culture in a new world. The Inuit ancestors of Jessie Oonark grew up in a rough, icy land. The area where the Inuit historically have lived is vast. It reaches from Russia, across Alaska, northern Canada, all the way to Greenland. For many hundreds of years, the Inuit survived as hunters. They often moved in search of food. They often traveled with dog sleds across snow and ice. Explorers from Europe. Starting in the 1500s, European civilization came to the land of the Inuit. Some Europeans were looking for an ocean route to riches of Asia. The ocean route they hoped for, called the Northwest Passage, did not exist. Many Europeans stayed in northern Canada, where the Inuit lived. At first, the Europeans and the Inuit did not get along. Over time, the Inuit and the Europeans began to share many parts of their cultures with one another. European explorers and settlers brought cotton thread and wool to the Inuit in the 1800s. They also brought some of their own art. The thread, wool, and art would influence Jessie Oonark's artwork many years later. A challenge for Jessie. Jessie was born around 1906. Her family lived in a community with other Inuit. The freezing temperatures made their lives hard. They fished for food. Whales and caribou, large deer, were important for food too. These animals also provided materials the Inuit used to make clothing and shelter. When Jessie was young, she married a man named Quablunyak. Sadly, Quablunyak died in 1953. Without Quablunyak to hunt for the family, they had little to eat. Jessie and her children got help from relatives, but times were hard for everyone. There were not many caribou left to hunt, and food was scarce. Jessie needed a way to care for herself and for her children. A move and a plan. In 1955, Jessie moved her family to a settlement called Baker Lake. Many other Inuit lived there. She did what she could to earn money. She became a seamstress, making parkas and other clothing to sell at a store in the community. Getting started. One day, Jessie went to visit her children's classroom. She watched students as they created drawings. Jessie knew that she was skilled and talented with her hands. A new idea was born. She'd start making pictures of her own. A scientist named Dr. Andrew McPherson was working near Jessie's home. He found out that she was interested in drawing. Dr. McPherson made sure that Jessie had paper and pencils for her artwork. A love for art. Jessie didn't just experiment with creating art. She blazed forward into her new career. She often created 40 or 50 drawings in a single week. Soon she began creating wall hangings and other kinds of art too. Many of Jessie's works show animal and people. Often they show the importance of women in the Inuit life. Some works also include colorful patterns Jessie created using traditional Inuit sewing styles. People can look into the life of the Inuit through Jessie Oonark's work. Jessie quickly became known for her skill and creativity. People began to buy her pieces. Early on, she sold her art through the store in Baker Lake. Before long, however, her art was being seen and sold across the world. It hung in museums. Pictures of her artworks were published in books. Jessie won awards. A lasting gift. Jessie Oonark passed away in 1985. Her work is shown and sold at the Jessie Oonark Center. The center is located in Baker Lake and shows Jessie's work. The center celebrated its 10th anniversary in 2002. It is also home to a group of Inuit artists who create art in Jessie's style. People around the world can still appreciate and learn about Jessie and the Inuit culture.